Hello everyone and happy Saturday. So I'm back in my studio from traveling. Um, and I tell you, I am in a really odd mood. Yes, I think it's going to be reflected in my collaging. Like when you travel, and I was in Mexico, and I just love the colors and the richness of the culture and the aged and the patina look of everything. And I spent time in the Yucatan Peninsula, so I was going around and just checking out some of the Mayan ruins and things like that, and really going to ones that were on, like, not on the beaten path, because the main ones are closed anyway. So um, so that really did open my palette, I think, to these kind of tones. So anyway, I know you've heard me say this before. I'm not sure the direction I'm going in today, but today I really mean it. So this is real live intuitive collaging. And that's fun too. So hang in there with me. We'll see what we end up with. I've pulled some things together, just inspirations for like things I thought I would want to use. These are some photocopies of some old documents. These are some old, like really old pages. I think this is out of a book from the like 1600s or something like that. I have some old books that got damaged in a fire. I had when I used to do a lot of book binding restoration. It was a woman in the Washington D.C. area who had like an antique, like had a an old bookshop. Like you can see like how the thread is still in these pages. So I'm gonna pull this out. And so she used to bring stuff to me to restore. And some of it I was able to restore, the bindings and things, but she had this whole group that had just gotten water damage, like really bad. And there was really nothing that we could do to really restore them in any way that made sense. So she gave a bunch of them to me. And so I've been using them over time, but this is from Old French book. You can just see the beauty of the, like, look at that natural staining. No tea involved, just water and old age. So I probably will use some of this. I don't know. I'm inspired by that. We'll see. But in the meantime, as we get started, I'm going to try to do 2-page spreads. So that's what we're set up to do. I wanted to show you from our jelly printing session. Remember I told you I would show you the coffee stain papers. So remember, these were the ones that were just like off pulls from the plate when I was cleaning the plate. Remember, these were just cleaning the plate, and I said take them, make sure you just put them, and then coffee and stain them. Even the backs, the board that I use has it's wood, and you get this really neat patterning on the back. But yeah, this is how they come out. They really, look at this. They really are, I mean, just staining the papers makes a huge difference in the print. Remember these? We're doing these. So I told you I would show them to you. And they basically were nothing little throwaways, but they become great bases for collages, for using them as book pages. I mean, this is just beautiful folded down, and that can become a page in a book, multiple of these put together. Something like this as a book page in a journal. You're doing junk journals or something like that. These are wonderful for that. Take your jelly prints. And then there's more places to collage around or use these as writing spaces in the journal. I just find that, and then the marks on the other side are just so interesting. Like I said, I dry these out on a wood board. So dry your stuff on something that has a texture. I've seen a lot of people use lace, especially that plastic lace tablecloth makes a lot of neat patterns. But I use wood, just anything. Sometimes old pans that have a neat kind of ridging or something in them. Let your paper dry on those. But I wanted to show those to you because I had promised I would. These are just some of the ones that we did. And then this is the paper that was the white, do I have it right here in the drawer. The one that's not stained. Okay, here we are. Remember how we did 2 of these? So this was one that I did with the mark making, and did we do this? I can't remember now if we did that with you or over here on YouTube or on Patreon. But anyhow, this is a white calligraphy paper that you guys have seen me use. And then when you just kind of, when I do the scripting and mark making, then if you just use some coffee, look how I immediately, and then I put some rusted rings and stuff on there just to kind of make some extra marks. But look how immediately it looks aged. Hey, look at that. You go from something that's just like, okay, that's fine, to something like this. It's like, wow, it's like aged and yummy. So I wanted to show you all that as well. And I may use a bit of this, which is why I have it out. Not sure. We'll see. So let's move things to the side. Now this is one of those pages that I'm going to use in here. This is one of those that we just, I off-rolled on the Gelli plate. This is when I was doing it and I had some of the, you know, punchella. So basically I think what I'm going to do is just fold this in half and just give it half and half on these pages. And then we're just going to work around this. This is definitely going to be abstract because I'm really into sort of, I think that for sure. But I definitely want to figure out how to put some of this text on there. Oh, I know what I was thinking too. Let me, I had this idea as well. And then, you know, we're going to have to cover this. I've really been thinking about that. I still feel like I'm going to use some of this cloth that I had echo stained. So that's next. We're almost finished. We only have like 1 more session, maybe 2 after this, depending on how many I can get done at a time. I only have 6 spreads left. The book is looking really good. And I was looking at this earlier. See how beautiful it is here? It's just the right amount. It's not like too wide like that, like all out, because we took just the right amount of pages out so that we could fill it up. And yet it still is got a good structure to it. It's not too thick. So that's another thing to look at when you're deciding how to alter a book. You know, just removing just enough pages so that the book, you know, comes back right again. So now we'll need to definitely cover it. Okay, so put that there. But what I wanted to do is, because I was kind of dealing with these old pages and this sort of scripted stuff, and since we're still dealing with the idea of mail art, want to get I have got to get more of these Tim Holtz stamps because I am using these things up, but I love them. He does have some more, so I need to get them. Okay, so I think I'm going to use, let me try the Spice Chai. I might go with the lighter color. This is a brown in the stays on. How come that looks black? This is a Spice Chai though, probably because I still have some black on here. I got all kind of colors on here. Let me see. It's okay. Starting to lighten up. You see, I hadn't cleaned my pad for a while. But guess what? You know what's going to happen with this sheet of paper? It's going to get coffee stained. And then it'll have this neat scripting on it. So it's kind of, that's looking good. Just kind of wanted to put it around a few places like that. Let me use this other end too. Let me just put some of this down so I'll just kind of finish this off. Because when I go to stain it, it'll be complete. Okay, I like that. Just a nice little light bit of, that looks good. Just a little bit of scripting around it completes that. And then let's go back and figure out what we're going to do from here. Okay. I go to glue this down here and here. So now the challenge is going to be, another one says I have to put it together like that, does it? Do they? Let's see, which way do we put this to make it look less like, just to kind of mix it up so that we can, because I'm going to be collaging over it, so it's going to, let's see. Kind of hard to decide, isn't it? Because this looks like a mirror of it. I guess this does too. I don't think I really like them just side by side either. Although, let's see. If I do this one like this and this one like that. No, that really looks too. Maybe I'll keep them like this when I think about it, because I can collage in this middle area here, which is going to knock some of that back. Okay, we're just going to put it down like that. You study long, you study wrong. Let's get this fabric tack going. Just going to go for it. I have no idea. Boy. I just have a feeling in my heart. You know, like you just come to your work and you just have a sense of something, but you can't really form it in a picture. You can't say what's going to look like this or it's going to look like that. So that's when I just let go and just do it. Like, don't stress about all the little details like I was starting to do there. Just do it. It's all going to come together. The point is for this to look like, you know, we're still going with the theme of mail art. So we want this sort of document look to it, but at the same time, I still want sort of like sort of this abstract feeling to it, though. Kind of what I'm going for. Which a lot of my work is sort of this abstract expressionism anyhow. So, I mean, that's not surprising, but get a little extra underneath here. Okay. Where's some tissue? Here we are. Okay. Get a good seal down there in this gutter, because this is where the book is going to fold back and forth, so it's good to have this really down tight. Oh, I keep on letting my little bottle fall. Okay. Alrighty, it's looking good. I'm going to use some over here, just a little bit. So this is just copy or weight paper, if you're wondering. Just good old copy paper. This isn't anything special. Because you remember, with this, what we were using as the off paper, just to roll off or clean off the plate. So you know it really wasn't anything super fancy. Let's get this one on. But I love it. I just love this old world look. I mean, look at it, just the color and just the Gelli print. Let's see if we can see it good. I'm trying to get a close up. See, just a little bit of texting, the print. I mean, you know, like things. Honestly, you don't have to work hard at your creative expression. Like sometimes when you overdo it and over concern yourself, the freedom of just ending up with some beautiful organic results, you know, you kind of can push those out the window because you don't allow that space. But I think that because we like this sort of, you know, you wouldn't be following me if you didn't like this sort of grunge, old world, old wall, you know, kind of recreating you know, old world themes and bombed out villas. You know how all the things I come up with to describe this old chateau. Got all kind of names for this kind of stuff. But it's that feeling of when you go into an old home or into a ruin or something like that, and you're walking around and it's that little piece of paper you see on the floor. You open up a drawer or a closet or something. It's this little piece of something that just shows its age and its wear, and it's just so beautiful. I just love that. That's what I'm always going after in my work, is that feeling, that sense of stories that time tells. And so it's like, it's really easy ways of achieving it organically where it doesn't also look contrived, because we don't like contrived. We don't want it to look like a really fake version of, it's obviously not going to be the real thing, but try to make it look as authentic as possible. That's a big thing for me, versus it kind of like really looking a little too made up, you know what I mean? So, and the same thing with the Gelli printing. The way I Gelli print is it's just, you know, go easy, create your layers. I think that's something you guys probably, that was a walk away from seeing my session a couple weeks back. Just do the layers, take your time, have fun. Nothing is wasted. Okay, so we like that. I almost want to put down what I want to put here so it can be drying. Let's go ahead and do that, because I don't know how much I'm going to actually get to. Let's go ahead and get these two foundations down, and then I'm going to come back and work these. And then that leaves this here, at least for this time. Hopefully this time. Okay, so let's just go ahead and rip this. Just trying to, let me see. Let me use my grid so at least I have a shot at getting this straight. Take it off here. Alrighty, so okay, perfect. So one will go there. I think this will go on this side. And let's just do the same thing here. Okay, so let's get this. Alrighty. Okay. And I think this one right here is good. Okay. Perfect. So the width is good there. Perfect. Throw this stuff away. Alrighty. So we're going to go ahead and put this down. Now, we know that I'm going to cover it there. So let's go ahead and pull the bottom off of this. I think my idea was to line these up at the bottom, and this will be the bottom, and then some of the old letters and stuff, I thought I would make them kind of like the top part of this. So we'll see. Let me get a fresh glue stick, because one thing I know about glue sticks is that the fresher they are, the better they're going to stick. And I tell you, anybody who watches my channel from Italy, oh my God, I will pay you to send me some of those Giotto sticks. I can't even find them. If I could find them, I'd be good. But I tell you, if you want to reach out to me, I'm happy to pay for getting them here. And pay for them, obviously. It's just that I don't know anybody right now in Italy personally, and it seems like they're a dime a dozen over there. Like, they're not expensive. They're like, these are here. These are like a couple dollars a stick or something. I think they're even cheaper than these, because these actually come from, I think, I don't know, somewhere. Are these Swedish or German or something? These Uhu, Dutch, maybe. As I think the woman that I watch all the time who uses them, Rachel at Roxy Creations, she swears by them. I think she says they're like a dollar or $2 a stick. But I've looked them up. I can't even find the glue sticks and the like that. And I did find the liquid, but it was some crazy price on Amazon. I mean, like crazy. I think it was like $20 or something for like a jar of it. I don't even think the jar was this big. And I thought, well, I don't know how that liquid would work. And I really like the idea of the glue stick because I want to use it like this. But the one that she has, it puts fabric down. I mean, it seems like it tacks down really seriously thick stuff. So I wanted to try it. So anyhow, if anybody knows of any or can get their hands on it easily, please let me know. I'm happy to work something out. Okay, come on now. Trying to get this underneath here. I don't want any bubbles. Okay. Alrighty. Wipe some of that glue off. I got a little bit too much at the top right now until I put something else down. But, okay. So I just decided to put the extra layer of the tissue up there just so that it gives me extra surface to work on to be able to start gluing on top of. So let's do this. Yeah, this is a good fresh glue stick, so it's gluing really well. I do like these Uhu. I think out of all the ones that I've been able to get here in the States, these are archival, number one, and they really do glue well. I just find that some of the different surface papers that I use, they don't always glue really well to all surfaces. Like, you know, we talked about like the onion skin. When you start having stuff with like a lot of cotton in it, papers that have a lot of cotton fiber and stuff in it, I find that sometimes this can release. I mean, it's, you know, it's not always certain that it's going to adhere really well. So, and it's a glue stick, so it's not designed to be Fabri-Tac, you know what I mean? But it seems like these sticks, these Giotto, are sort of like Fabri-Tac in a glue stick. If I had to say what I thought it was from looking at Rachel's, that's what it seems like it is. It seems like it's Fabri-Tac in a glue stick, which to me is like really interesting. Okay, so we're looking good. So those are our Mark Rothkos from the very beginning. Remember we did those, you know, that's why we always are making stuff so we can keep all our different papers in rotation. That's what collaging is all about, right? Being able to use, you know, we make our collage papers and we use them throughout our processes. That's why it's nice making a good collection of them. That's why I keep these, you guys have seen me, but I use these pockets a lot. I keep all of my different ephemera categories in them. You know, like the different monthly printables. I put each month in one. That way I can find stuff. And I know where, you know, it's easier. And I just kind of keep it in this IKEA. I think I've shown this to you guys before, but I use this IKEA box, this little ones you get with the handles. I think they're $4 or $5. They're not that much. But it's a nice sturdy container. And then I just put all of my packs in there. And I'll tell you, I keep it right here beside my desk, and it really makes a difference in being able to be organized with all this ephemera, because for me, I gotta see it. If I have it stuck all the way in drawers and stuff, I am not going to remember. Believe me. So, okay. I think I got that folded back a little bit, but it won't matter because I'll be covering some of that up. Alrighty, so that's down. And let that sit. Let me put a piece of, I always like to put a piece of wax paper in between it so that it can dry and not stick to itself. All right, so that's our second spread done. The foundation for it. Now back to this. So now what I'm thinking I want to do is I want to work with some of this. I have this idea of wanting to cover some of this up with this document. See how I'm just kind of going for this. So we'll use some of this. I'll have some of these. But I was thinking about using these with this. That's kind of what I was thinking. So we'll put this over here. We'll see. But what I wanted to do over here too is use some of my scripting. So I have different styles of intuitive scripting. I mean, maybe it's something you guys never thought about. Like, is it all the same? But I have one that I call Old World. And I think that's what I'm going to do across some of this. And then we're going to collage over it. And then. So let me get some Sumi ink in here, because I'm going to need this to dry a bit. And I'm just going to do, I might do it a couple of times. Let's just see. I don't know. Let's just start off with the scripting. So I call this old world. And it you know, it gives me a different sense about what I'm wanting to convey. So let's get some more of this down. Oops, got a little dot there. Okay. So I'm still going, you know, we're going to do our mail art. Okay, so we'll let that dry, because while that's drying, I'm going to figure out exactly where I'm going to be gluing this. So I want, let me just first of all tear this down. Okay, I like how the page is broken up there. Just figuring out how we're going to collage it out. Just kind of creating sort of like, I'm kind of having this vibe of gridding, but not, you know, not really a grid. So maybe something like this will work. So something like that could be kind of good. Okay, I like. And then, here, let me go back through some of my, let's just look through my papers and see. Because this is the thing. I don't know. Oh, I know. I have a book of some really small musical paper. Let's see if any of this will work. So it's this book. It's like a lot of really small musical paper. I got this at one of my students at one of my workshops. Gave this to me. A lot of times, you know how you go and when you travel and you go to vintage stores and you're looking for materials to collage or do work with, and so we did some of that. And then she took pages of it, but she was getting back on the plane, and so a lot of this was just getting too bulky. So she said, "Do you want it?" I'm like, wow, of course. So thanks a lot to Bonnie. Appreciate it. So I kind of want, you see where I'm feeling this old world kind of look. That's what I'm trying to work through here. Like these heights are good. I like this side. Okay, so I think I'm doing this odd gridding, I know. And I know I'm covering a lot of this up, but I don't know. I really kind of want the Gelli print to sort of be this background, but we're still getting some of it over here. So, see if I flip it. No, I think it looks better on this side. That one looks good over there, and this one looks good here. Maybe I'll just make that a little thinner so we can still see a little bit of the... Yeah, so we don't cover up so much of the print, but that's good. Okay, I like that. All right. What else? What else? I think I'll go ahead and stick these down. I just kind of have this sensibility for like this old manuscript look. I guess you can kind of see what I must be feeling. Okay, let's glue these down and then we'll see what's next. Okay, I need to use this for sure because I'm going to be gluing this paper to the acrylic paint. I don't want that to lift up. And I'm still going to put my stamps on here. Figure out which ones I want to use. Do I want to use the ones that I make? The more abstract ones, you know? Or, let's see. Oops. Okay. Now this will go over it. So now we're still doing this. I mean, this is another version of using the grid, but instead of everything being like really blocked off, we're using more organic edges and what have you. And I'm also going to use, now I'm going to use I'm going to use my finger to spread some of this because this paper is really old. It's really in amazingly good shape still. It's not really too brittle, but it's handmade paper, and it's so when as it gets the moisture, it's really going to absorb it. So I want to get this down and not over touch it. Woo! Boy, that was something else. Oh my goodness, but look at it. I love it. Love it. So we're just going to kind of let that dry because I don't want it to... Oh, but look at the quality of it. It's nothing like old documents, I tell you. So, just wish that's all I could use. But, you know, more and more, it's not as easy to get your hands on them when you do. They're costly, but there's still enough stuff out there in the world. We just have to be ever vigilant. Okay, so, that's my puppy. Come on. Come on. All right, little man. Okay, so let's go ahead and put this side down, do the same thing. I'm feeling like I should make this look a little bit more aged. So let's pull out a little trusty aging palette and let's get some frayed burlap and a little bit of our pumice. My pumice is up here. Okay, so let's just get some of this down and I want frayed burlap. Yeah, that's good. Let's get some of this down. Just kind of really rubbing it out because I don't want it to be too much, you know. I want it to be just the right amount. Okay. And let me get a little pumice, a little gray there to okay, where is my here? Need to get the heat gun on it. So get some heat gun on this. Oops, I'm blowing it away. Just a little bit, because it was a little bit too pale compared to everything else that was going on there. So we're going to get a little bit of pumice on here. That just kind of grays it down a little bit. You guys have seen me do this. What's nice about the using that pumice, we've talked about this before, is it really does just see how that did it. Oh my goodness, that's like night and day, isn't it? Just a little bit of distressing, not over the top, but you can see how that just blends in so much nicer now. And you can see that little bit of gray up there laying over the frayed burlap. Just get it down here. You guys can see it up close. Just immediately made all those little spots. All those little teeny spots there are like all from the gray. Okay, so I'm going to put that down in here. Okay. So for this, I'm going to use some more, okay, that one goes down first because I want this on top. Okay, so I'm going to use the Fabri-Tac. For the musical paper, and then I'm going to go back and use the PVA for the old book page. Okay, so let's go ahead and get this down here. I'll make sure before I get it too set in place. Yeah, it's good. Yeah, so this is collage in a different direction for sure from what we've been doing, but this is good. Just go with it. Okay, so now that's going to go down right there. turn this over because I don't want to get this wrong with the glue. Okay. Okay, so just sort of rub this out real quick. A little bit more. Okay. This really does start absorbing the moisture of the glue, so you kind of have to work quick so that it doesn't. And it's funny, I haven't glued this before, but I'm noticing how the ink, it's like both sides are kind of, in a way, bleeding through, I guess is the way to say it. So it's like you can kind of see all the bleeding that's happening on the page there. See, like right in here? That's from the glue activating with the age and with the fact that it's making the paper more transparent because the ink from both sides are kind of coming up. It's really interesting. It's an interesting effect. Now, if I didn't want that effect, I probably would just go straight with this fiber tack because it doesn't have as much water in it. So probably wouldn't do that. But actually, I like that. So that's good to, to know you can do it one way or the other. But I like how it really adds that extra age quality to it. Okay, so now what I think I want to do, that really needs to still dry. Okay, I'm kind of thinking stamps. So let me look up here. That's my little bowl. Let's just see what's in here. And then I want to do something here. I don't know. I don't know what. Oh, actually, maybe I can put some stamps there, right? No one says the stamps have to be on this side. Oh, that's a great place to put some stamps. Let's find some that will work there really well. Oh, wow. And I like it with these little extra pieces of paper and everything, That's why I end up making them, because I like that. Oh, these are perfect. Wow, see these stamps, like this DIY stamps, like it just depends. Like sometimes I don't think that they work with all styles of, well, they don't work with all styles of collaging, but like this is perfect. I'm starting to sing here. I like. I'm gonna need to do something on this other side. Let's see. See what I want to do. So I'm gonna let that dry. Need to make some more. That's for sure. I've used a lot of these. I had a whole lot of them, but now, okay. So I think what we're gonna do, I'm stalling because I'm thinking over a lot of stuff in my mind here. So how about, okay, I want to do another thing with the scripting here. So I'm trying to let this dry some before I actually put these down. So before I put those down, I'll put some more scripting there. And while that's drying a little bit more, let's think about what I want to put on this side. So let's see. I have some, oops, I have an avalanche that just happened. I keep a bowl of my stamps and different things ready to go, so when I just get in the mood to make stamps, I have a lot of stuff here. so I kind of feel like, let's see what's in here. Oh, look, I have some with music paper. That could be nice to do some opposite stamps over here. These are, like, I'm always showing, we do a lot of this over in the Patreon though, but just a lot of this mass making of different things that we like to use in our work. I might put that down here. I like that, just like that, just as another gridded piece. But these two right here, I think what I'm going to do is we're going to stamp those up. Okay, let me see what stamps I'm going to use. So where are, so these are all of those collage. That's the one that those are, so I'm not going to use that one. I think this one stamps nicely. Okay, so let's use that. And I'll show you how I do it. So generally I just take it and put it down this way. And let me just get a maybe I'll try the black soot. Okay, so let's try this. I just ink it up, and then I just literally take, so you can, so this is just a collage of bits and pieces on some coffee stain paper, and literally I just lay it down this way and press into it because you get a better imprint. It almost makes it like it's intaglio or something like that because it presses down into it. Okay, see? So all the little music paper and stuff's underneath there, so we can do that one. Okay, let's do another one of these. Okay. Alrighty, so let's let that settle for a minute because I think I'll put these off center. I like this one, so let's go ahead and put this down. This is just some scraps that I put together. Literally, I just sometimes sit down when I'm looking at podcasts, or mostly I'm listening to podcasts or different documentaries. That's what I normally do in my evening winding down time. I make these. I just take all the little scraps and stuff that I have that they're still neat little pieces, and I just glue, basically I glue and make these little mini collages that are ready for stamping and what have you. But this one I want to put right down here. I just think it adds another element. I really like. This is really giving me this old world look that I was going for, thankfully. Okay, so here, maybe these I'll just put on the side like that. And I feel like they could use some extra zhuzh with some old, I'll put a little bit of this on there. Some extra paper or something. Just kind of want to add a little something else to it. Okay. Just some extra pieces, so when I go to put them down, I think I'm going to kind of like overlap them a bit, but sort of like that. Yeah. so they could kind of form a unit, but they're not too separate. So I think that'll be like that. Okay, this is coming together. It's coming together. Yep. Okay, so now back to this over here. This is dried up pretty enough. I want to just get some extra scripting right here before and let it dry so I can put those stamps down. So. Okay, I like. So then these stamps we put aside, we'll go down over that. Let that dry down. And these right here, I feel, let me just see. Let me see. Okay, so we'll just integrate this a little bit with some scripting. How about that? So I'll kind of start off the page and sort of like that. Okay. Okay, that's good. Alrighty. Wow. Like I said, I didn't have any idea where this was going, but I like it. I like this old world. As soon as we get these stamps down there, it'll be a nice focal point. And I feel like it can use some red, but I don't know. I don't know what I have that's going to be the red that's going to be right. Maybe it'll come to me by the time we come back to these pages. Just a little. Oh, I can use this registered seal. These are our stamps. Maybe I'll use that. So let me get my red. And I think I'll use it on this side, the red. And where's my block? Let me just use this. Okay. Alrighty, so that's why I think that's why I was attracted to this little bit of red that was in there. Okay, so let's go ahead and put these down because these are ready. This one is still drying a bit, but I'm going to just kind of connect this to this collage. So see, even though it's like all these sort of different pieces going on here, the fact that I'm still maintaining a grid kind of brings it all together so that in the end the eye is not like here, 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 everywhere. Like it's not like pieces, you know, if you kind of connect and make some sort of grid for yourself, even if it's imaginary, then you got a lot of things going on, but they're still in the main focal point, if that makes sense. So let's go ahead and put this one down. Actually, I think I need to put this one down first because I want that to sort of be underneath. So let's see. It's going to end right there. So let's get this one down. Okay. I think I'll put that one there. Got this scratchy throat. Okay. Perfect. And then this is going to go right on top of it. You know, just how like when you have two similar stamps in a roll, they're together. So that's kind of the concept, except for obviously we made these a little different in the collage process. But the idea is the same. So now you want to go back out, eh? Is that what you're saying? Okay, you got to give me a minute. I got glue on my hands. All right, buddy. So we'll do that down like that. Oh, I love it. Get some glue underneath here, a little bit more on this edge. Okay. Always using this tissue is good because it does help to absorb the extra. If you just press down before you rub, any glue that comes up will start getting absorbed into your tissue, which is definitely better. Oh, I love those. Come on. He just likes to wander around and check on everybody. Okay, so you see how this is coming out? So we've gotten this overlay of those stamps that are collaged, little pieces of paper basically, stamped. And then in this, turn around this way, so in this gridding here, I mean, this really has an old world effect. When you think about it, the only thing old on here are this book paper. I mean, this is older. This comes from a book that, let me see, probably the 50s or something like that. If it even still has, I don't even think it still has the information on the book in it. No. It probably is the 50s or something like that. But when you think about something that's really aged, the only thing are these book pages. And see what I like about it, even though this wasn't dry yet when I did the sumi, see how it started bleeding? Oh my goodness. And then we get a little like ink blot. Oh, I love it. I love when stuff happens like that. Those little happy coincidences. And you see how this paper is even grunged up more with that glue on it. I love it. This is the first I've worked with these book pages, so I didn't know what to expect, but I'm really... So here we have a full grid that happened. And then we mimic it on this side, but we broke it all up. So it's not the same like grid. But the eye reads it as being similar. So now what we're going to do is put the stamps down here, and I'm really liking this. I really like this. So here we're just using, and the base of it is a jelly print that we could have easily thrown away because it was just cleaning a plate. It was basically just ghost prints cleaning a plate. But no. Everything goes into an eco bath in my world. So let's see, we're going to put one here. Get the placement. Let's get the placement. So one here. Okay. Okay, well, pick that up real quick because I got that upside down. I was looking at that thinking, that's looking upside down to me. Took me a minute. Okay. Okay. All right, there. And this one, one thing about the Fabri-Tac is it is permanent, but it is forgiving. You get it down, it gives you a little chance to kind of mess around and reposition if you have to. So I wanted that text to be in underneath this. So this is perfect. I just wanted that text to kind of glaze underneath these stamps. So that's looking good. How long have we been at this? Let's see. Wow, it's been an hour already? You've got to be kidding me. Put this one down there. Love it. I love making these stamps. Alrighty, so here we are. Put it close so you can see them. Aren't they fun? Just all those little, I think all those little collagey pieces of paper help to make them not look so like, you know, stampy. It does give them like a bit of distinction. And then that's why I like to script over them too, because that adds. So I'm happy with this spread. We did a lot. We got a lot accomplished here in terms of different things. So now, before I sign off, I really do think I'm going to try to squeeze in gluing these down. So let's go ahead and put this over here and let that dry and settle. Because I had the idea to put these down, so you know I'll just have to finish these up, but I want to give you guys an idea of what I'm thinking about. So since these postmarks were kind of like already on there, let me just go ahead and rip some of this off. Let me see. I kind of want this. Okay, so let me start with just getting this seal, because I want to make sure I have that. Okay, let's do this right, because the last thing I want is for it to be not ripped properly. So let's put it there. Then I can see. I can see. Okay, so. Okay, perfect. So that'll go there. Then that leaves me on this side about that amount. Okay, which is perfect. I was hoping that that would be the case. Because I like this C, so I don't want to lose too much of it. Okay. Alrighty, so that'll go there. I'm going to rip away some of this. Let's figure this out on this other side. Same thing. So let me put this down and maybe grab just a little bit off this edge. Just a little bit. Okay. I like. Okay, so I'm going to end up doing more to it, but this was my idea to just think in terms of putting our Gelli print, the Mark Rothkos, with, let me see how I want to do this, with, I kind of want to rip this sort of off the edge like this. So something like that. Oh, I like that. Okay. And then same thing over here, something similar, but not so much, because I like a lot of this. I think I'll just make it go straight, because I don't want them both to be, you know, the same type of rip. Okay. Okay, so we need to just do a little bit of our sort of roughing this up a little bit. Okay. That looks good. Kind of get some on all of it, because this is a little bit too, it's a little too sterile. We get well, You guys say you don't mind the longer videos, so today, that's definitely, because I want to definitely get these 2-page spreads to a point. Well, the other one's finished for the most part, but this one is not going to be completely finished, but I'm almost there. So whatever else I do to it, if we don't do it together, when you see it, you'll have an idea. The whole point is just to give you ideas yourself for doing your pages. But this is something so simple to do from a design standpoint with our Gelli prints. This makes it easy. Okay, let me get some more up here. So now this again, remember, is a frayed burlap. Boy, this really does a great job. Just the spots and stuff it puts on it is perfect. And let me put a little bit more of the frayed burlap. I mean pumice. A little gray on here. A little pumice. Okay. Love that gray on here. Get some gray on here. I tell you, it's nothing like this pumice. I'm just telling you. If you haven't tried it, do. You will not regret it. It just makes the right amount of old world age without. I mean, these things look like they still could be the original. Doing it this way. So that's the Tim Holtz Distress Oxide in the pumice stone. I'll show you, just in case you're new to my channel. Those have been around for a while, you're used to these, but Distress Oxide pumice stone, this is gold in a container. And then the other one is going to be, that we use, was frayed burlap. Okay. Where is it? The other one was frayed burlap here. So the two that I used today to get this distressed look is the pumice stone and frayed burlap. Definitely worth it. And you really get this aged old world look the way we like it. You know. Okay. Oh, look at these. These are just yummy. Yes, 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 yes. Okay, so we're going to put these down. And then I'll probably stop right there, because that gives us a good chunk done and gives you guys some ideas to go off into your studios and continue to work. Remember to pull out those Rothkos that we did early on. If you're not using some of those, go back and work them in with some of the papers. And a lot of you have been buying the printables. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. And you guys have been using those, so the printables work well, just like this. Just distress them. You can distress the printables just like we did them. It doesn't have to be actually a document to give this kind of feel to them. But a number of you have asked me to do a documents and letters printables, and I will. I'm working on that, so I'll probably get that to you sometime in August. I already have my August printables done, and I'll show you those next week. Oh, there's some yummies. We're going to have fun working in those. So those will be probably the last few signatures of this book. Using those, they're really good. Trust me, you're going to love them. If you've been following me the last month, when I bring these out, you guys are going to love those. So, it just looks good. So all I got to do is just figure out what I'm going to do in there. I haven't decided yet, but probably something simplistic. I don't know. Figure it out. But this right here is just a beautiful foundation. And to mix these in with our jelly prints like this, I just think is so beautiful. And distinctive, you know. Because everybody doesn't use jelly printing in their collage. There's a lot of people out there doing collaging and stuff. But how many are actually using, you know, the jelly prints in this junk journal style and like this? That's why I call one of my journals that people follow me on Patreon. See, we call it Jelly Junkadori. Because it's like a junk journal, but it's the Midori style. But they're using, you know, using a lot of jelly printing as a foundation for what we do. So, yeah, just different approaches. Okay. There. Wow. Beautiful. Love it. So you can see it. So see all that staining and stuff. That's really good. So now I'll just figure out. So we'll stop here because that's giving us a chunk, and then it gives me a chance to also kind of think about what else I want to do. I just saw these elements together, but now, like, what, you know, do I want to do to complete it? I don't know. Probably some stamping. Once this dries down, I may use some of the mail art grid that I have, the other one that I like to use. Love this. And it's amazing how these work, how they work well together. You know, from one page to another. And yet they're completely different. Alrighty, so I hope you guys enjoyed that. Hasn't been too long. Ooh, hour and 20 minutes. Alrighty. So some more ideas, and we're nearly done. I only have a few pages left here, and then we're on to working on the cover and just figuring. I still have to figure out how what I'm going to do. I left a few end sheets because I wasn't sure as exactly what. I may just end up tearing them out completely and then covering it. I don't know, but I was leaving that. And I have these end papers. See these papers on this book? This is the book that I took it out. But these end papers are gorgeous. And I've reproduced them. So I think I may use those as the end papers for the book. And that'll go along with that pink and black eco-stained silk fabric that I did. I think that could be really nice in this book. So I may use those as the end papers. But anyway, there we have it. So take care, and as always, love you guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I always enjoy your comments and your questions, and it's so nice to see that you guys are just getting a lot of this done too. And you know, it's just a wonderful community, and I can't thank you guys enough for being a part of this with me. If you're new to my channel, please subscribe, and please thumb up this video if you liked it. And then until next week, have a lot of fun crafting. Alrighty, bye bye.